Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nick Tiffany's Movie Reviews, coming at you online and in print format at nicktiffany.com, in audio format wherever you get your podcasts, and even in video on YouTube, TikTok, Reels, pretty much wherever you get your social media, you can find us there. Today, I've got a very anticipated summer movie season kickoff film. I think that the late spring, pre-summer, I feel like this is usually the time of year, kind of going into May, that you start seeing a few big box office things. I don't know why this time of year always makes me think of Tom Cruise. And of course, now I'm blanking on the movie Oblivion. Oblivion was a early-ish, like late spring, early summer release. Really kind of set a good tone for the movie season to follow. So the Fall Guy is going to be the Fall Guy if this doesn't kick off movie season. But after watching it, I have no doubts that if audiences flock to this, they're going to have a great time. This is a film that owes a lot, much like Hollywood owes a lot, to stunt coordinators, stunt workers, the people who are actually doing all the hard work, the people who make everything look so easy, who make the actors look incredible in all of our favorite action films. The unsung heroes of John Wick who are getting thrown down 30 flights of stairs and just absolutely getting hammered. And so, stunt choreography has been so essential as long as filmmaking has been around. Some of the earliest actors in the silent films were stunt people of their own right, I should say. But since then, it is a totally legit and influential position in Hollywood. And in the last 5 or 6 years, you've really seen David Leitch and Chad Stahelski, Sam Hargraves, a number of different directors really leaning into incredible action choreography, some of them being stunt workers themselves, stunt choreographers. And so we're seeing this transition into, okay, not only can I create an incredible looking action sequence, but I think I can translate that into making a really incredible looking movie. So The Fall Guy is sort of an ode to Hollywood, an ode to the stunt performer, a movie within a movie following Ryan Gosling as, some famous actors, stunt choreographer, stunt worker. He's played the stunt guy for, 4 or 5 films now for this guy. And things are going well. He is behind the scenes, behind the helmet, inside the car when it crashes, but that's okay. That's kind of the role he likes to play. So Colt Seavers, he's just a stunt guy. And early on in the film, we kind of see a budding romance between him and Jody Moreno, who's played by Emily Blunt. Jody is a camera operator who's working on a film with Colt at the time. Things are going great. They're just hitting it off. A summer of love, more than just a fling. And then an accident happens, and Colt nearly loses his life in a stunt gone wrong. They get separated. Some time happens. And before you know it, they've both kind of moved on. Not really, but for Colt, nearly losing his life in the profession he loves most, it's kind of slow getting back into things. And so when things start stalling sometime later on a new movie that's being directed by Jody, Colt's kind of brought in to kind of help save the project, finds himself neck deep in all sorts of trouble and all sorts of shenanigans with Tom Ryder, who is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. Tom, who is the actor he often does the stunts for. Things kind of escalate. I won't go into details as to what happens, but basically, Gosling Seavers finds himself in a number of precarious situations where he's just getting tossed around like a rag doll in typical stuntman fashion. I should just lead and say I enjoyed this movie. I thought there were some awesome stunts in it. I had a good time with it. It's funny. It's fun. There was also just a part of me that it was just kind of like, all right, that's really all it was. It wasn't the most detailed stunt choreography kind of movie. Like, I saw one person call it Barbie, but for stunt work, and I don't think that's totally true. But there are moments, admittedly, in the film where you're kind of like, okay, yeah, that's kind of like a Barbie movie moment that we've already had. And for the appreciation that they're showing for a director who did stunt work as long as he did. Some of the action looks great. Some of it looks fine. But there's not so many moments where it feels like you're kind of behind the scenes. It just feels like, oh, I don't know what the stunt is, and he's going to do a cool car jump, and he's the one doing it. But we know Ryan Gosling's really not the guy doing it, and they've kind of leaned into that a little bit with some of the press for this film. It's been funny. They've got Ryan Gosling out taking photos, and then his stunt guys next to him all looking identical with the bleached hair, and then they get yanked back. And so it's, it's tongue-in-cheek. There is some cool stunt work in the film, but it wasn't as focused on like exceptional stunt choreography as I guess maybe I thought it would be. And maybe that's because your lead is Ryan Gosling and you're leaning into the fact that, he's a great actor. He could be funny, he could be charming, he could play down, whatever it is, they got a great performance out of him. Gosling's tons of fun. Kind of a blend of his Ken and Nice Guys. It's just, it was fine. He and Emily Blunt have some good chemistry, and so that romantic side of things, I guess, was more maybe of a surprise to me that it was as much a romantic film as it was. More like a rom-com, I should say. But I don't know. I had a good time with it. It just wasn't totally what I was expecting, I guess. I thought there maybe would have been a little bit more focus or, I don't know, acknowledgement of some of these other stunt guys and bringing them into the frame and having them do some wild looking stuff. So I don't know. The movie within the movie meta stuff was fine. There's like a whole Dune production they're working on, which is somewhat fun just as they're making fun of it and doing different. I don't know. This is a tough one because I enjoyed the movie. Would I watch The Fall Guy again? No. Does it have enough juice to kick off summer movie season? I hope so. Emily Blunt's great. She and Gosling just, they've got a great chemistry together. A good amount of the comedy works. Explosions are great. Hannah Waddingham is pretty fun in the film. But I don't know, it just wouldn't, it didn't totally wow me, I guess, like some people have been wowed by it. I don't know how much of a throwback film it is to old action and stunt films like some people are claiming it is. I don't know. It's fun to enjoy Ryan Gosling being funny and silly and singing Taylor Swift and playing All Too Well and whatnot. There's movie moments here and there in the film, and there's definitely some crafted for specific audiences or social media, it felt like. So I don't know. It was fun. I wouldn't go watch it again, but if you want something lighthearted and easy to watch, easy on the eyes, and you'll laugh and there's a couple twists, then yeah, The Fall Guy's great. I had a fine time with it. This is the side of things where reviewing can just be hard, partially without getting too far into the story and what they do with it. But I don't know, for as inventive as the story was getting, the payoff in the end maybe was not quite what I expected either, or it didn't quite land as well as maybe I was hoping it would, given what they were setting up. But again, it's fun. It's fine enough. People are going to enjoy it. I can tell people are already enjoying it. Critics praising it. It's good for them. Good on them. I'm sure if you watch it, it'll be a great time. Do you need to watch it in the theater? If you like the explosions and stunt stuff, sure. But this is one where I wouldn't mind waiting for this to come out on rental. I would run and go see Challengers or something else first before going and seeing this. Not that this isn't bad, but I don't know. There have been more fun, more entertaining films that kind of cover some of this stunt work or movie within a movie. And I don't know, the more I think about it and the more I talk about it, the more I think it was just fine. It was fun for an evening, but you're not going to get married in this movie. You don't take this movie to your private island with 10 films you can watch for the rest of your life. It doesn't quite scratch that itch. David Leitch, I liked Atomic Blonde. Deadpool 2 is fun, but I think his movies, as far as what I've observed and watching them multiple times, I love Atomic Blonde to a great degree. I just think there's something in the action and fighting choreography that leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't know what it is. They definitely lean more into the comedy, and that's fine. But, even watching Monkey Man or certain films this year, it was like, ooh, a lot of this stunt choreography work is freaking badass and it's awesome. And, we're talking about marginally different budgets here, totally different scales, but I don't know. For everything this movie was supposed to be about was stunt work and showcasing how impressive it is. And for as much as people are like, no, this like honors the stunt man, not really. Not really. It was still Ryan Gosling as the face of this thing, and I'm sure he had his choreographers, obviously, and his stunt doubles, but I don't know. I don't think it's as big as people are making it out to be. But you guys watch it, you judge, and then let me know what you think. Next week, we've got the Seattle International Film Festival kicking off, which I am stoked for. I'll be dropping a kind of anticipated list, things that I'm looking forward to covering, some things I might pick up on, and some that are just total mysteries that we might have to take the gamble on. But the kickoff for that's next week. Super stoked. So we're going to have tons of stuff coming out. Planet of the Apes is coming out soon enough. So, hopefully also we can get that Japanese Godzilla -1 from Japan's Amazon Prime. Where there's a will, there's a way. I've been dying to rewatch that again. And now that they have it over there, I'm going to find a way. You best believe that. Thank you again, as always, for listening, you guys. You can take a look at NT Movie Reviews on all social media networks, podcast platforms, and on YouTube. Thanks, as always, for listening. Have a great afternoon.